Hey guys, welcome back to Inner Peace Tarot. So I was feeling really guided to just go ahead and do another Dispelling Illusions segment. So we'll just go in order for all the signs, starting with Aries. So Aries, I'm seeing that you are taking boundaries with family too lightly. And I'm looking at the Two of Pentacles in reverse, and that's kind of telling me that, like, there's almost this feeling of not feeling like you can actually set these boundaries or manifest them with what you have. Maybe there's some kind of dependence. But even more so, I'm looking at this butterfly with the Queen of Swords. And it's really just like the implication of those boundaries. So like getting the words out. There's like a block somewhere. It's like this idea of your independence sort of being an illusion to you. So it's not the actual illusion that we're dispelling. We're dispelling the idea that this independence from your family or alongside them, depending on your situation, is not attainable because of some inability to set boundaries. So I'm looking further into that block, and I'm seeing that maybe you feel if you were to set these boundaries that it would disrupt your home life. It would disrupt your living situation. And what I'm channeling right now is that the reality is quite the opposite. So when you set boundaries, you're creating a more ideal home life, and you're creating an opportunity for these people that you live with, or your family, or whoever we're talking about in this situation, to meet you where you need to be met. So in not setting those boundaries, you're almost robbing them of the opportunity to help maintain a healthy, peaceful living environment. That's the illusion. Is sort of that when you set boundaries, you create disharmony. The reality is that it's the opposite. All right, so anything else for Aries? I'm looking at the Page of Cups with the Four of Pentacles. So maybe this is a boundary that you're considering in regards to taking space or keeping something of yours private or separate. And your guides are kind of just confirming that that is not selfish, that that is coming from a pure space. And if people around you can't respect that, then, or maybe project that it's selfish, then take that as like their lack of understanding for what a boundary does, their lack of understanding for the purpose of boundary setting, you know, and that's their own path. And ideally, once they are put in a position where they need to start setting their own, they will be able to appreciate other people's boundaries a little bit more. All right, so I hope that made sense. This is what I have for Aries. I'm working with like a new setup here, so I'm kicking the table, causing a ruckus. One more thing for Aries, and possibly something for Taurus, since that's our next sign, is just that you are in control of the direction that you take your life. No one's going to do that for you. No one's going to insist on your boundaries. No one's going to tell you which boundaries to set. It's completely in your hands. And yeah, it's your life. You make the rules. So next is Taurus. I'm picking up on this energy of feeling like you're forgetting something, or maybe having to leave one thing behind. So tell me what Taurus is believing right now. Okay. So Taurus, what I'm getting is that you have this sort of bird's eye view, this like intuition about a situation that you're in, where if you can avoid some kind of drama, this is what you're telling yourself, that if you can avoid some kind of drama, some kind of tension, some kind of conflict with another party, that you'll be sort of absolved of the lack of accountability for a missed opportunity. This isn't a missed opportunity for someone else. This is a missed opportunity for you. It's as if taking strides into the direction that you want to go for this potential is going to stir the pot for somebody else. And so you're telling yourself that if I avoid this, if I avoid stirring the pot, upsetting, ruffling feathers, whatever, you'll miss this opportunity, and you acknowledge that there is a part of you that is accepting that route. But you're convinced that you'll feel okay about it. Like you'll be able to walk away and say, well, I did everything that I could. So the illusion, right off the bat, I just pulled the deck, and what was left behind was the Three of Cups and the Hanged Man in reverse. So when I saw that, I kind of got, no, you didn't do everything. You know, if you were to go through this route, you didn't do everything that you could have. Because you could have, I guess, just like avoided this drama by leaving certain people around, or leaving certain people behind who are not for your success. So whether you see it that way or not, we'll look into it again, just as far as what the illusion itself is. Okay, yeah, so it's just what I said between Aries and Taurus. Right before I started your reading, I kind of got that, like, you make the rules, you decide what your standard is. Nobody's going to come in and be like, hey, I think you should set this boundary, or I think you should, you know, maybe say no to that and say yes to this. That's for you to decide, right? So the illusion that I'm getting here is that deciding, again, what you say no to is sort of a group decision. At the end of the day, whatever this is alluding to, it'll be your missed opportunity. It's not going to affect anybody else. Even if, say, taking on this opportunity with full force would affect or would upset other people, or maybe create a sense of competition. You know, in this life, we have to be accountable for our wins and our losses. And in this situation, the illusion is that you're not accountable for your loss here, because you are being, say, considerate of other people's emotions. I'm hearing like you've got stuff to do. You've got your own sort of mission here. And these people around you, they're not going to beg you to fulfill that. If that's your desire, then you need to find the means to do that. Even if it means outgrowing some people and leaving some people behind. But again, the illusion here for Taurus is just that you are not accountable for your losses when they come from, I guess, an innocent or pure space. Okay, and that is like solar plexus energy, so I'm feeling guided to just mention that. Maybe reconnect with your sense of empowerment and like the power of choice, and just like taking ownership of your life. All right. So we'll get into Gemini. I'm feeling this sense of I could, but I won't. Okay. So I'm looking at the Judgment card in reverse, the Eight of Wands reverse, the Hermit in reverse, and the Five of Pentacles. It's like a restless energy. It's like my soul needs this. My soul needs this, so I have to do it. And with the Judgment card in reversed, right next to the Eight of Wands in reversed, it feels like you kind of know that whatever this is that we're discussing here will have an adverse, maybe karmic effect, or it's not going to serve, say, your higher self, or maybe it would hurt another person. I'm not really seeing that specifically, but just to give you an idea, there's a huge focus on accountability for all the signs so far. But it's just this idea that if you do this thing, the illusion is that if you do this thing because your soul is craving it, or because there's some part of you that needs it. And it's like air quote needs, like, not to say that you don't actually need it, but like you have this longing for something, this like yearning for something that, again, you foresee some kind of adverse effect. That you'll be sort of, your hands will be clean from any of that karma, because you were just doing what you needed to do. It's like a part of you has already decided that you're going to do this. And you're being guided to acknowledge the need that you're feeling within, but not to satiate it with whatever is presenting itself to you right now. To meet that need from within. I think that whatever this need is, whatever this thing you're contemplating, it would be like a temporary sense of fulfillment. So doing whatever this is not going to satiate whatever that need is. But it will backfire in some sense. And again, since we're dispelling illusions, it's not going to, you're not going to feel like absolved of that, of having made that decision just because you had this need that needed to be met. Great. Anything else for Gemini? Trust that your needs are going to be met in divine ways, so much higher ways than anything that we can, you know, control. If this is like, just for example, like seeking validation, or getting some sort of validation from, again, something fleeting, trust that you'll be able to find that within yourself. Or say this is like a way to make money in which you kind of have to compromise your values, or, you know, something like that. Trust that your true stability is going to come from sharing this need in a vulnerable way with the universe, or like your God, or, you know, your higher power, and just allowing it to come in, again, I'm hearing, in a divine way. And when you have that doubt, you feel like you need to settle or obtain that stability through something that looks tempting, but you know is not going to ultimately be rewarding. Insist on that belief that the universe has your back and wants to give you something better. All right. So that's what I have for Gemini. Next week, Cancer. What is the illusion in Cancer's life right now? What does Cancer believe to be true at this time? Kind of getting the sense that, Cancer, you believe that the pursuit of your independence is like aggressive or passive aggressive, or like impulsive. Like a low blow is kind of what I'm hearing. Like So right off the bat, I'm hearing that like the illusion here is that your independence isn't worth the price of, again, possibly upsetting other people, or maybe even the stress that it would entail. It's like you foresee these looking at this hole in the ground in the Five of Wands. It's like you can foresee some obstacles that would come from this pursuit of independence. But again, the illusion is that your independence is not worth that. It's not worth those obstacles. So let's see what Spirit wants you to know in regards to that. Okay, so what I'm hearing is that the trouble comes when you don't foresee those obstacles. That's what would make it impulsive. That's what would make it sort of reckless or destructive, is when you just kind of blindly chase after this idea of independence, whereas you seem pretty clear about what to expect from that. So the trouble comes from that blindness, that sort of a naive approach. When you made the leap, you committed to this step toward your independence, and now you're trying to sort of undo the fall, because you can see what you're falling into. You know, that's not what I see you doing here. I'm hearing and, you know, seeing with this Tower card, like you were in a burning building. And you did look down before you jumped out of it. And at the time, you decided that your independence, what would come out of that, was worth the fall. So there's no need to sort of oscillate and doubt yourself now that you're midair, is kind of what I'm getting. Anything else for Cancer? This is giving me sort of, you never know until you try. So like, even if something is scary or daunting, if you assess the situation and you're like, all right, well, I'm going to have to face this. I'm going to have to overcome that part somehow, you know. But if you want to see change in your life, sometimes you have to take a risk. I'm seeing you sort of in this like Ace of Wands reversed, a little bit bored, a little bit, it's giving like flat line, like not amused. You've sort of played out every situation around you. And sort of like the only situation you haven't played out is taking this leap, despite the more intimidating aspects of it. I'm hearing like you're gonna get everything that you need. You're going to get everything that you need, but if you don't take the sleep at all, you can absolutely anticipate not getting it, right? Because it's almost like the stuff that you need can't come through while you're in this energy. And I also heard that the universe rewards the brave. So especially because you have this foresight, especially because you have waited out even though it's scary, you're being brave and you're committing to it. You're going to get what you need. Can't be brave without the fear. Definitely is a part of it. And take sort of that foresight, that tension, that nervousness, that anxiety you're feeling about what you can imagine happening as like a tool, like a gift from the universe, you know, kind of showing you ahead of time before you get there, what you'll need to be prepared for. And again, the universe is going to come through for you. All right, so that is what I have for Cancer.